10 funniest things UFC fighter Derrick Lewis ever said. Derrick Lewis is a skilled fighter in the octagon, but he's also known for his funny side. Over the years, he's said some extremely funny things. In this video, we're going to tell you about the funniest statements ever said by Derrick Lewis. So, without further delay, let's get into the video. Number 10. My balls was hot. Joe Rogan approached Lewis for the typical post-fight interview, yet after another excellent bout in which Lewis won by knockout in the third round. Any Derrick Lewis fan knows that anytime someone comes at him with a microphone, it's time to pay attention, and that moment was no exception. Rogan asked the most obvious question on everyone's mind after Lewis removed his pants. Lewis's response was straightforward but amusing in all the right ways. My balls was hot, he simply stated to Rogan.
My balls was hot.
Number 9. He disrespected that Popeye's chicken. Lewis had been performing some smack talk behind the scenes, according to a news conference with champion Daniel Cormier. Cormier, never one to keep quiet, inquired about Lewis's real problem. Even Lewis's most loyal fans are unlikely to have seen how he would have reacted. Quote, "He degraded that Popeye's chicken on a commercial from years ago," Lewis said calmly. There are certainly many UFC fans who agree that there are good reasons to dislike someone.
He disrespected that Popeye's chicken on a commercial for years ago.
Number 8. I need to sit my black down and do some cardio. Derrick is the type of fighter who can amaze just about anyone who watches him fight, but he doesn't appear to be interested in fighting for titles. He appears to fight because it's something he enjoys doing, and the glory and fame are just a strange side effect. Quote, I need to sit my black down and do some cardio. What you're talking about right now. Lewis said when questioned about a possible title match by Rogan, right now, I'm not attempting to battle for any titles. Number 7. Gonna go home and throw my wife's legs up in the air. Fans of the Ultimate Fighting Championship will be familiar with Alexander Volkov's name, as well as the fact that he lost to Derrick Lewis. The UFC seems to be fully aware of Lewis's comedic drawing power, as seen by his appearances on numerous panels and conferences. Lewis was questioned about his post-fight celebration plans during a short panel, and he responded, quote, probably just gonna go home and throw my wife's legs up in the air and see where it goes from there. The rest of the show struggled to hold their composure after hearing the remark. Number 6. I just want to do a number 2, that's all. When a man is as large as Derrick Lewis, it's no surprise that he can withstand a lot of abuse. Lewis took some significant body strikes in one of his fights, but he managed to win in the end. Quote, I simply need to do a number 2, that's all, Lewis said when questioned about the series of stiff kicks to the body and how badly they hurt him. Lewis is one of the few fighters that can be witty and trash talk their opponent at the same time.
Right now.
Number 5. Y'all can have the snow. Many UFC fighters enjoy the fact that their employment allows them to travel all over the world. There are just as many warriors who despise traveling, especially under less than ideal circumstances. Derrick Lewis is one of those fighters who would prefer not to compete under less than ideal circumstances. Lewis was definitely looking for a warm place to go at the end of an event in Canada. Quote, thank you, man, he said when someone told him he was free to leave. Take time to appreciate Canada. Thank you very much. You can have the snow if you want it. I'm returning to Texas, you know. It was a fast farewell, but one that was respectful and funny. Number 4. I saw Bruce Buffer get one of those. Derrick Lewis appears to be a huge Bruce Buffer fan. Lewis was being interviewed by a UFC correspondent after an event. As his followers know, the ideal time for Lewis's humor to flourish. Quote, I did, you know, the week coming up to it, I was like, no, it's not fazing me, Lewis said. When asked if he felt any difference performing in front of a star-studded audience, until I came out there and saw Bruce Buffer still wearing one of those good jackets and thought to myself, damn, Bruce is standing right there.
Yes, I was surprised because
Number 3. I'm just trying not to myself. When Derrick Lewis is involved in a UFC news conference, there will almost certainly be an increase in viewership. Lewis is typically extremely silent unless particularly called upon, despite the fact that there are lots of potentially funny moments that could occur. Lewis offered a straightforward response to a query about several powerful kicks to the body and how badly they appeared to injure him. Quote, "It was more of, I'm just trying not to myself." While there have been reports of many athletes damaging their shorts in the middle of a game or a match, Lewis appears to be keen on avoiding the situation.
I know you were hurting to the
Number 2. My whole body was asleep. Joe Rogan interviewed Lewis after yet another victory about the amazing action that had just occurred inside the octagon. After a failed attempt at a back mount, Lewis was able to finish the bout with some solid strikes. Quote, "My whole body was sleepy and he helped me wake up," Lewis said after Rogan pointed out that when Rogan asked for clarity, Lewis stated that he'd met Bruce Buffer for the first time that night, which made Rogan laugh so hard he couldn't stop himself. Number 1. No habla English. Post-fight interviews occasionally include people who don't speak English, and happily the UFC can give some form of translation in those cases. Lewis didn't even need a translator in what may be the funniest moment in UFC history. When Lewis was asked about his performance, the conversation moved to another man who spoke to him in a foreign language. Quote, "No habla English," Lewis said to the man in a very unexpected way. While some may have taken it as disrespectful, it was evident that he was joking when he was soon inquired as to what the man had actually said.
gassing and trying to breathe at the same time.
Did you like today's video? Tell us in the comments section which statement by Derrick Lewis you found the funniest. Don't forget to like and share the video and press the bell icon for more regular updates.